Glamour.
Grit. Glamour.
Grit. Glamour. Grit.
Welcome back to the Glamour and Grit
Season 2! Oh my gosh. First of all, to come back for a second season on a podcast is very, very difficult
It's
for most
huge.
people.
Yeah, because I think everybody and their dog has done a season 1 podcast.
Yes. I have 100 friends that have done a season. You know, they got it off the ground. It's an amazing accomplishment. It's actually really hard to do in the first place. And then they do it, and it's like, oh gosh, life gets in the way. You know, the producer wasn't kind of who they thought it was. So coming in for a second season, 90% of the time doesn't happen. But they say if you come back for a second season, odds are it will continue on for a very long time.
Forever and ever?
Forever.
Forever. Sandlot.
Oh my gosh, but we're here. We're here.
Can I tell you a story really fast?
Sure.
Start it off. Speaking of Sandlot.
I'm very happy to be here, by the way, guys. Thanks for being back with us. It was an awesome season.
You're already interrupting
A great
me.
hiatus. I just want to throw it out there. We're not just back. We are happy.
Oh my
to be
God.
back.
And well, we'll dive into it, but quick Sandlot story. So my little brother Charlie hated baseball, and we're going to talk about Mick started baseball.
He did.
But so he watched the Sandlot so much, and he was in Little League. He was 4, or Pee Wee, whatever you called it. And because he watched Sandlot, they were telling him, they were like, Charlie, run to third base, run to third base. And he turned around as a 4-year-old and he goes, where the hell is third base? Classic. No, I really do feel like nothing has happened this summer.
Speaking of which, though, like the fact that
kidding.
our kids have never said a curse word, because they always say, like, we are very, very, like, you know, we think about it. We talk, you know, we know the kids are listening at all times, so we make a point not to say words they're not supposed to say.
Well, and I think that's why I cuss so much on the podcast, because I'm with my kids
But
24/7.
things slip, and we have friends over all the time who don't have
Slip,
kids,
yeah.
who say words left and right. And then they're like, oh, God, so sorry. But our kids have yet to say a cuss word. So I know the episode will come where we're like, oh, our kid cursed today for the first time. We had to get on them. But it hasn't happened yet.
Well, and they really think right now, because I've made it very apparent that I don't like the word but. And so when they say but, they think it's like that's their
They do
version of cuss words.
Yeah,
They're always
yeah.
like, but, or fart. Fart's
Oh,
another
yeah.
big one. Fart is like actually the world's ugliest word.
Well, we prefer them to say toot.
Toot. I think you go
I slip all the time.
tutti
but
frutti,
you-
but a fart, like a little girl should not be saying, oh, I got to take a fart.
So Charlie was 4 when he said his first curse word. Let's see. What do you think? How old do you think Momo's going to be? How old do you think Mick's going to be?
I think Mick will say a cuss word within this coming year.
As soon as this baseball season gets to a close.
He will be Mr. Cusser.
Okay.
Compared to Momo. I don't think Momo will ever say a cuss word. Or not meaning to.
No, that's what I mean. I don't mean they're going to know what it is and they're going to say it. I mean, like, they've heard someone say it and will repeat it.
It'll be Mick. Because our sweet babysitter was late last night. And Eric and I were talking about how she was late. And she comes right in. She opens the door and she goes, hi, Mick. And he goes, you're late.
Right away.
So I
And
really
we love
think
her.
that.
She's never late. It was like a funny mishap. And he happened to jump all over her as soon as she walked through the door, which was really, really funny.
Well, speaking of McMahon, today is September 27th, which means it is our little Mick's 3rd birthday. We are premiering on his birthday.
He's growing up so fast. You know, they say have a boy if you want to go to the hospital all the time and
Oh my
have
God.
injuries and have to deal with all the messiness that comes with kids, rough and tumble kids. And they were absolutely right.
Oh my God.
We had a concussion, a month ago?
Yes. And I forget, like, our podcast listeners we haven't been with them since
No.
June 20th.
Yeah, there's a lot to catch up on. We've got a bunch of stuff over the summer I want to bring up and talk about. But let's just start, since we're on the topic of kids right now. Mick, who is our guy who's always been in the hospital since day one, is continuing to keep his streak alive. We had to get rushed to Cook Children's Hospital, best in the world. Thank God it's right down the block. Because he literally had a blackout, full concussion.
Yeah, because people say concussion, but I feel like a real concussion is if you fully pass out, he threw up, the works.
It was the scariest thing. I've never seen, other than watching fighting on TV,
Yeah.
I've never seen in person somebody get cold clock knocked out.
Well,
let
and
alone your child.
oh, it's traumatizing. And I've been in like the ICU with Mick. I've done surgeries with Mick. We have done, I don't know why this scared me 100 times more than even the ICU. I mean, he was supposed to go on a ventilator. That scared me less than this scared me.
Let me paint the picture. So we're
Do you know
in.
we're going to get so much hate for this because the reason he got a concussion is what most people say is like the number
No, no,
one.
no, no. Listen, listen, listen. We're enjoying a nice backyard afternoon. Sandy's inside relaxing. I'm outside. My friend Caleb's in town with his fiance. The kids are playing in the backyard. I'm shooting the basketball. The kids, which this is what happened. They Mick was not able to get up onto our trampoline by himself until recently because there's a ladder and he just couldn't figure it out. Well, I think it was like the week of the concussion. He figured out how to finally get up there by himself. So him and Momo got up onto the trampoline, which has a net around the entire thing.
And it's one of those no stringy things like you
No,
can't
there's
get
no
caught.
springs. Yeah, it's
That's the word.
springless. So it's the safest possible trampoline you can own, which is kind of an oxymoron because we all know they're not safe. Side note, I grew up one with springs and no net my entire life, and we threw each other off that trampoline playing wrestling and football and tackle the person with the football.
Yeah, but your cousin also broke her arm on it too.
Nope, she broke her arm trying to do a back handspring on the ground. None
Oh.
of us ever actually got hurt on it.
Not even Andrew?
Nope, which is crazy. Anyway,
He's thinking right now. He's like, wait a minute. Wait a
Mick
minute.
steps
None of
up onto the trampoline. You have to unzip the net
the
to be able to-
bottom and the side.
to be able to get in. Well, in the 5 seconds that he gets up there, Momo's already up there waiting for him, and she just has a shit-eating grin on her face. And the minute he steps
And
up,
they've been playing.
Yeah,
It's been
they've been playing, the roughhousing and the way they kids play. Well, she thought they were still playing and pushed him, so he flew out of the one tiny little area.
because usually he's not used to it. Usually you would like crawl into it, but he stood on the very, very top, which is so weird that he would stand there, but that's like a little boy. Do you know what I mean? He stood on top of the ladder
Yeah, while
instead
it
of like
was
crawling into the trampoline.
while it was still unzipped, I hadn't had enough time yet to get all the way over there to zip it like I normally do. And she pushed him. He flew out and smacked his head on the ground. Lights out. I saw it happen in slow motion. I come running over. I pick him up, and his body is lifeless. It's limp. Eyes are
Oh
closed.
my
Like
God.
I can't even. He's melting in my arms because his body isn't holding himself up. So I'm thinking the worst. It, I, it happened so fast, but like, did he break his head? Is his head hurt? Is his neck snapped? Is what's going on? His eyes were closed. I'd never experienced a concussion, so I didn't know the signs. I know you get knocked out, so I was like, okay, he's knocked out.
You know what's weird though? I wonder in hindsight, you probably shouldn't have picked him up. Like if he had a broken neck.
Right. No, but I knew he didn't by the way that he felt because it was all body and head and neck at the same time. Like nothing hit first.
Oh, okay. That's good.
It all like
Not good.
smacked
Nothing's
at
good,
the
but-
exact same second.
Yeah.
And nothing was contorted or hit weird.
And the nice thing is we do have turf that I feel like it gives it a little spring compared to when like concrete or
Yeah. And there wasn't a toy or
Happy
a root.
season 2, everyone. This is so positive.
Mick's back in the hospital. It's a routine. Anyway, I pick him up. He's lifeless. I run inside. Sainty, we've got, Mick fell off the trampoline. He's hurt. He's starting to slowly open his eyes at this point.
And I lose my shit. I think every mom understands this. It sounds so weird. If something happens to your child, you never want anything to happen, but you want it to happen in your care.
Yes.
Because at least you saw everything, you know everything. When it doesn't happen in your care, I think it's such a mind fuck. Because I'm like, I don't know what happened. What could have happened? Why weren't you watching? Even though I would have been doing the same thing, I just think as a mom, you'd rather things happen on your clock.
Mind you, I am being very calm. Inside, I am freaking out, but I'm being extremely calm in the moment, which I was surprised at myself and very proud of myself. I'm going to pat myself on the back there.
Yeah, you were, and I was not.
I walked inside. Yes, you were not at all. But rightfully so. It's a very scary situation. But I walk in, I get Sainty. I'm still in my pajamas, mixing literally just a diaper. So we throw some pants on him. His eyes are kind of open, but the lights are off. Nobody's home. He's woozing in and out. We put him in your car.
Yeah.
And we drive straight to the emergency room. He's vomiting the entire ride to the emergency room. We get him there. Cook acts super fast. CT scan, X-ray, boom, boom, boom. We know within 30 minutes. Classic concussion, no brain injuries, and it takes about an hour,
Yeah.
hour and a half for him to like fully come to, and then that was it.
And then it's like it never happened. He was so funny. Bizarre.
It was crazy. What
But
a
I really, the
whirlwind.
nurses did say after we found out everything was clear, they were like, this will not be your last visit here. And I
Uh,
was like, well, it wasn't even our first.
Definitely
So,
wasn't. And luckily, we had our friends over, so they were able to watch Momo, who was a nervous wreck
oh
because
my
she knows she
gosh.
caused that. So
But
immediately
she
she felt
didn't know. Like, they
she
were,
didn't try to hurt him,
yeah,
but she felt guilty. Like she felt as a 4-year-old, like she knew the feeling of like, wow, he got hurt because of my actions, which wasn't on purpose,
yeah.
but she registered that, and it crumbled her.
Well, and Momo FaceTimed Mick at the hospital, and Mick was like, Momo, I'm okay. He was like comforting her.
Yes, to let her know, like, don't worry,
Yeah,
which
I'm
was
fine.
the most amazing, sweetest moment
Oh, yeah.
I've
I think
ever
I cried
seen.
more at that than I even did
Yeah, like,
at the
"Momo, don't
concussion.
worry, I'm good,
I'm
it's okay."
okay.
And then everything was okay, but that was an eventful
Well,
part
that
of.
was like a 10-minute story to start our episode.
I know,
That
but
was really good.
it's a good one, and Mick's feeling better, and this is just life with boys and children.
Yeah,
This
and we found out this summer that we're gonna be auntie and uncle again. One of my brothers is having a little girl, one of my brothers having a little boy. So we're gonna have 2 more babies in the family. Let's go. I keep asking Mick and Molly Morgan because obviously we have 2 kids and I'm 35, so the time has come. We need to decide pretty soon. Well, we don't have to, but it'd be nice if we didn't have to, do freeze my eggs and yada yada yada. And I keep asking them, and Molly Morgan's like, no. And Mick wants a brother and a sister named Harold and Henry.
after the trains from Thomas the Tank Engine, I can
Yes.
assure you.
So he is getting a boy and a girl in a new cousins,
Oh, that's good.
which
That's
is
good.
great. So that's so exciting.
So before we get into things, I would like to share my favorite memory of the summer because it meant so much to me, and it was so cool that this was able to happen for the first time ever.
Oh my gosh. I literally forget that we did this not on the podcast.
I was shooting a movie in Arkansas, and Sainty and the kids surprised me, drove all the way to Fayetteville, knocked on my door on my off day of filming, and my mom, and we're all there to surprise me, to experience set and to be there. And at this point, I had been gone weeks.
Yeah, 3 weeks, I think, or almost 4 weeks.
I lost it.
And
Y'all.
usually Eric comes home like once a week, maybe every 2 weeks. This is the first time you had to be like gone.
Well, because how shooting schedules normally work, you shoot 5 days, you're off 2 days. So on those 2 days, I would go home. But we were shooting 6 days. So there
Yeah.
was no way I could possibly get there and back in one off day, which never happens. But this one was a rare thing. But they recognized I was struggling a little bit. They came all the way to Arkansas, and the kids got to be on set.
For the first time.
They got to see how a movie is made. They watched me go through hair and makeup and wardrobe and shoot an epic scene. They got to be best friends with Rumor Willis's daughter,
Oh my
Luetta.
God, who is Rumor and Luetta. Like, talk about the most magical human being. What did I call her in the car? The question.
Celestial.
Celestial. That is Rumor Willis to a T. She is like, I always call her Mother Nature. She is like the most beautiful, zen, chill, coolest. So I was so lucky. She was like having Mr. Rogers on set. I think because she grew up on set with her dad, Bruce, and Demi Moore. So I think she knew what to say to them. I mean, they were glued in. Every word that she said,
Oh, I mean,
they were
imagine
honed
like,
in.
every office building, most businesses, it's like bring your kids to work day. They get to see what, daddy's doing on his job or mommy. I've never gotten that ever. Like this was the first time they got to actually see why daddy's leaving, what he's doing.
Well,
And so
and
it
it's
started
usually not
clicking.
appropriate either. You've always really kind of done stuff that's super either night shoots or very, very dark.
Well, yeah, and they were also too young to bring to sets. Now they're at the perfect age. So it made me so happy.
It
That
was
was
so magical.
the highlight of my
Well,
summer.
and the kids didn't know either where we were going because I didn't want them to tell. I mean, the best part of Momo, she says, like she's the worst secret keeper in the world.
Yeah, that's true.
So she didn't know either. So we do the 6-hour drive there, which your mom and I are the best road trip partners. We had the best time. And so they walk up to a door. They don't know why they're there either.
It was a
So it was like a
double
double surprise. It was
unbelievable.
super special for me, and I just realized how much I think when kids are little, it's like dogs where you think like they don't think about y'all when you're gone because there's so much activity going on. And I think her seeing you, especially a 4-year-old, it was like a lot of emotion. If you watch, I did a reel on my Instagram. It's just so much emotion. Like watching her see you again and you seeing her.
Well, it's so cool.
Where Mick was like, "Sup, Dad?"
And I can't wait till the day she's like, "Hey, Dad, can I come to set with you?" And she can just come spend, a couple weeks with me, and it can be our thing, or Mick, or whatever. It was awesome. So excited for it to happen again. What was your favorite memory of the summer?
Oh my gosh. I have the worst. I feel like I'm like Dory, where I don't remember anything. Like I'm just like,
Short term?
yes. And
Okay.
I'm just constantly living. And I feel like my biggest issue is I'm always looking ahead and always planning thing ahead that I forget about like being in it.
Mm.
But one of my favorite memories, I think this summer, besides that, and I'm so sorry because you weren't a part of this memory.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me at all. My favorite memory was when Eric was gone and we
No,
had ourselves.
but it was really fun because I didn't know how it would go. I took the kids to Seaside for 4th of July.
Oh, yeah.
And that was really special. I think because watching fireworks on the ocean and just being with them in a place like not a care in the world. And we had such a not negative experience the time before, but it was just Mick was a hot mess. So I
Mhm.
was like, okay, I'm going to redo this memory. And I brought them and we had the best time ever. And it was great traveling with them by myself and just knowing I could do it. I feel like that was such an accomplishment.
And I think what made the difference was the second time he enjoyed it so much because he had family. He had cousins to play. Like Janie came,
Yeah,
right?
Janie Carroll came.
He had his cousins. So you got to bring a friend, you got to bring a relative, you got to bring somebody the kids can play with. Otherwise, it doesn't go quietly the way we would have hoped it would have gone.
No, not the first round.
Um,
It was not what we expected it to be. But I think that was a great memory. And it was like, okay, I can do this. I think the road trip, I did it with your mom. But knowing that I could do things like that and travel with them by myself, it felt really good.
yeah. Well, a lot happened this summer.
Oh my God, I made a list too.
We as a family, of course, went through our fun and our shenanigans. But I was just kind of looking, like I was like, what did happen this summer?
Well, we thought our first episode, because sorry to tell you guys, we had to maybe pre-record this because Eric's about to go shoot a movie. So this will be our only like pre-recorded live.
Yeah,
But we had to pre-record it. So we thought we'd just do a summer recap.
a nice summer recap.
So if something happens in early September, that's why we don't bring it up because we are recording this September 2nd.
That's it.
Sorry, gang.
That's it. Well, should we just trade some crazy things that we
Yes.
found?
Okay.
I mean, so the biggest, hands down, across the world summer news that happened, obviously, Trump's attempted assassination.
Yeah, and Biden stepping down. That
Like,
was mine
oh
too.
my gosh. I still cannot believe that actually happened at a rally and we all watched it go down and it missed him by a millimeter.
I just still can't believe our political election currently, just of how it seems like a movie. It doesn't even seem real. It's
It
like,
doesn't even seem
as
real.
we
And the
know,
fact,
Biden stepped down too, and Kamala Harris is now taking place for the Democratic. Um,
but what was crazy is to me about the whole attempted assassination was, remember they were like saying like they saw the guy way before and didn't what's her name step down as head of like security and all that
FBI.
FBI because of the way it got handled or something.
Yes.
That was crazy.
Well, and just makes you think about all the things that can actually go wrong. And then, as we know, one of our stories is Taylor Swift. There was a terrorist threat.
What?
Yeah. And so she had to cancel a whole week of concerts. So I think that's a part. Thankfully, I feel like we kind of get to live in a bubble. And really, it's so scary. These people that put themselves out there, any kind of rally or any kind of concert or a movie theater or a school. I mean, it's just so scary what can happen so quickly.
Yeah, no, it's insane. And at the same time, Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck divorced or are
I
no
know,
longer
so
together
long farewell.
again.
Do you know who he is with?
No.
Kick Kennedy. A
I
Kennedy.
a Kennedy.
Supposedly head
I
of
don't know who
hair.
she is, but a Kennedy.
It's been all about the Kennedys this summer too. Is
Oh
you have the
gosh.
Kennedy family divided
Yep.
because RFK,
Mm-hmm.
Robert Kennedy, is now aligning with Trump.
Yep.
Then you have the precious Kennedy boy, like the millennial Kennedy boy that everyone's in love with. I always forget his name. He's like a TikToker boy. He's with the Kamala Harris side.
Yep.
So it is like division of Kennedys right now.
Can you just tell me? Can you just please just enlighten me on America and the world loves Blake Lively, but right now she's the topic of a huge scandal because of this movie premiere that happened now a few weeks ago. But tell me why the world doesn't like her when I thought she was the most liked human being on the planet.
I think no one's allowed to be the most liked human being anymore. I think we have to, no matter what. If I feel like she has stayed out of the limelight, she's been a mom, but I think it sounds really weird, but I think she has the Taylor Swift effect. She's best friends with Taylor Swift, so now she's out there more. And did you see Deadpool yet?
No, I didn't.
Well, I
But
think she's in Deadpool.
okay.
So she has It Ends With Us and Deadpool.
You mean Wolverine versus that
Yeah.
one? Okay.
So they're premiering around the exact same time. It Ends With Us premieres, which was her idea, right after Deadpool. So, which she is in it. And so I think that people just saw a lot of them all at once. And she kind of turned It Ends With Us being this like florally, lovey girls, all about us girls going out together, where the entire movie, too, is about domestic violence. So the director, who's also her co-star, kind of made it more about domestic violence and very serious. And Blake, I think she's a sarcastic person. I think now all of her old interviews, everything, somebody asked, like, if somebody came up to you, a domestic abuse survivor, and is like, what do I need? She was like, well, should I give him my cell phone? Should I give him my social security? She was just being a smartass. She shouldn't have responded that way, but I think she does have that dry humor.
Okay,
So-
okay. So the issue lies with doing a movie about domestic abuse and in interviews and in
No, and I
public talks,
think-
she's not.
No, I think Ryan Reynolds, she got signed on the project. I think Ryan Reynolds rewrote some things. I think Blake made the movie because she's like, I'm going to be a producer on this. It's going to be my name. We're going to do it. I think she kind of made it all about her. And so, but the weirdest part is the entire cast is with Blake's side. But Justin, the director and the co-star, is like by himself.
And the producer.
And producer. But everything I've read, everyone's like, Justin's the kindest human being on this earth. I just think maybe two egos got in the way.
Okay.
And I think people are probably too scared, I'm going to say this, to go against Blake Lively. I mean, she's one of the biggest names in Hollywood. So if you were siding at all, if she doesn't like Justin, and they could just not like each other just as like co-stars, you think you don't have to be best friends.
So it's no
They
big
could've-
deal. She didn't do anything crazy. She didn't like step over the line. She didn't. I mean, it sounds like
No, I think she's just been a smartass in a couple of interviews. And I
Okay.
think that she made the movie a lot about selling at the box office, which it did, and less about domestic violence.
got it. Okay.
So I think you're getting a polarizing opinions where people are like, it's not about girls dressing in their florals. It's about domestic violence. But Blake is like, well, if I make it more like this, people get in the seats, which will make the message happen more.
What do you think?
I completely understand both sides. I think my business mindset is I understand where Blake was coming from. She was like, we got to get people in the seats. And we saw what Barbie did.
Hmm.
Everyone was dressing as Barbie that year. It was like the year of Barbie. So I think she probably had a little ego in the way too. And she was probably like, I know what's going to be a hit. Look what my husband has done with every Deadpool. They do know what works.
Yeah.
Where Justin, I don't think has a big of a background in the sense to prove he doesn't have like these insane blockbuster hits. He's more about the message.
Got it.
So I just think it's just two very different opinions. But I don't think either of them are in the wrong. I just think both, I hate the word ego because ego can mean bad. I don't mean it in a bad. I think both of their opinions matter and both were important to themselves.
Interesting. Okay. Seems like it's not that big of a deal, but
It's
it was
not
like
that, we were all bored this summer. It's like attempted assassination, Blake Lively. We had to
yeah.
do both.
And the Olympics. And
Which
the
was
Olympics.
Best year ever. The opening ceremony was a hot mess, but
That
then,
was weird.
that was horrible.
That was weird.
But then Celine Dion. No, actually, talk about we might get canceled first episode.
Do you know?
But talk about the polarizing. I didn't even think with that. I saw both sides of it too. I think as a nation, especially like political election years, we are so revved up. It's
Mhm.
like COVID when we feel like we're so revved up that any little thing we're gonna be like activated.
Oh, I mean, 100%.
Like my
Hair
dad
trigger.
always said, like take the advice, like take 24 hours before you respond to anything. But we're just not in that world, obviously, because we are a world of technology that just anything is going to set us off.
You know, we tied with China for gold medals.
Did we really? I
Yeah,
thought we got the
full
medals.
out tie. We got 40 and they got 40 gold medals, but we took the overall. We had 125 medals. Period. China had 91. They were second.
Let's
So we're
go.
still kicking booty when it comes to sports in America.
And it was so fun this year. I loved watching. And my favorite girl,
Oh my god.
I think I'm going to pronounce it wrong. Lana Mohair.
who-
Mohair.
which one was
Maher.
that? Which one was that?
The queen of rugby.
Oh, yeah,
She's
yeah, yeah.
now the cover of Sports Illustrated.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I am so in love with
she
her.
was awesome.
I don't really watch the Olympics, but I was so invested because of her. I love rugby. I want to play rugby now.
But you,
She is such a star. She won the Olympics for me.
she did, but you know what didn't? And then I just thought was the funniest: the memes and the videos that surfaced around this sport that they had in the Olympics for
Oh
the
my God.
first time ever was breakdancing.
Breakdancing.
There's this, the Australian girl, Rachel Gunn, made headlines and videos and everything because of her breakdancing that made it to the Olympics.
Well, and supposedly she's studying, like, not her doctorate or something. They said it was actually, people were trying to say it was like a stunt to prove for her paper.
No, but it
Like her
wasn't. She's
thesis-
been a
Oh,
B-girl
yes.
in Australia. She's been a dancer. She did the sprinkler. She did the kangaroo hop on the Olympic stage. It
And guess what?
was-
Now it's not coming back because of her.
Of course not. It was the biggest joke of the Olympics. I mean, there were amazing dancers, but the fact that they were also like doing the sprinkler,
Like the bunny hop.
oh my gosh, the memes. I just couldn't. I really couldn't.
Well, and I think her outfit made it even more so.
the green
like,
jumpsuit,
yeah,
the whole
it
thing.
made it so memeable.
Oh man. What about the scandal? What about the scandal with
the
Jordan
Olympics?
Childs? Yes, her bronze got taken away. Remember?
That was so freaking wrong. Then we came back and tried to fight it,
So
and
they
they took
said-
it away again.
They said she didn't get it. It was what's her name? I
no,
had
but
it
they
written
said it was
down.
because of the coaches.
Anna Barbosu, right? Won.
No, but it was the judge's fault because they didn't count her
Right.
off.
Right.
That's
so
the
she
judge's fault.
She won, and then America was like, "Hey, you didn't count, one of her, you neglected to credit Jordan for a skill." So they're like, "Oh, you're right." So then they took it away from her, gave it to Jordan. Now Jordan has bronze, and then after the fact, after the Olympics is over, they actually called and be like, "Sorry, we made a mistake. It's going back to Anna Barbosa."
Wait, so Jordan didn't win it
Jordan
originally?
did not. She is not credited for the bronze anymore. They took it back from Jordan and gave it to Anna.
Well, I do know that, but you just said originally she didn't win bronze. 'Cause
Right. Originally, it was Anna. They took it from Anna. They said, nope, Jordan won because we forgot to
I
count
didn't
a
know
certain
that
skill.
part.
So Jordan's on the podium. She's in all the photos. She celebrated. She got all the credit the night of the Olympics, the night of that ceremony.
But you said the other girl had won too, but but they took it away again and gave it to Jordan before the.
Yes. Here, listen. It happened twice. Anna wins.
God.
America's like, no, she didn't. You didn't count one of Jordan's scores. They're like, you're right. Actually, Anna, give us that back. Jordan wins. Jordan celebrates. Jordan's the winner on the podium. Multiple days later, after the Olympics calls and is like, actually, we're stripping Jordan of her bronze. We're giving it back to Anna because we've done our research and we feel that it belongs to Anna. America's still fighting on it, by the way.
No, I think they tried to fight back, and I think the case is done.
They did.
It
They
was
fought.
so wrong.
They fought really hard.
She should get it back.
It's crazy though.
I'm sorry.
That was a big
because it
scandal.
Actually, I forgot about that. So much happened when I was going back reading about all of the things that happened this summer. A lot happened this summer.
I know.
I mean, our last episode was June 20th. And
Yeah.
I feel like we have lived a life since June 20th.
100%.
Okay, what's your next? Or do you want me to pick?
I've got another one just because it is so mind-blowing to me. Mind-blowing. I can't get over this. I cannot get over this. I talked to a couple new school teachers of this new generation, and they've all confirmed it. It's all over online. Y'all, this is so hard to say. The ABC song is no longer the ABC song in schools. A, B, C, D, E,
What is
F, G. Done, canceled, and moved out. New song in town because apparently our ABC song that was the ABC song of every single person's life ever, except for right now.
But I thought the ABC song is the Twinkle Twinkle, and the same as Twinkle.
It's gone.
Twinkle.
It is-
A B C D.
Yes, it was the same melody. It is no longer
But-
taught in schools. Do you know why?
But wait, but wouldn't that mean Twinkle Twinkle isn't taught either because it's the same melody?
Great melody. It has nothing to do with the melody. It has to do with the way the words, the letters are said in the melody. Here's the issue. Apparently, this has caused such an issue with kids. Didn't bother us. Didn't bother every human I know. But now, apparently, it's such an issue with kids learning, they had to completely change it in the books. Done. Never to be taught the way we learned it ever again. It now goes like this. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Now I never will forget how to say the alphabet because what they're saying.
Wait, I kind of agree with them.
What they're saying is there was confusion about Y and Z
Yeah, and the M and N O P. I always say M and N O P.
and the LMNOP.
I think that's brilliant.
Okay, there's a lot of people saying, I hate to say it is more on the nose and makes more sense for learning, but what a tragedy. The song we've been singing for hundreds of, however long, is now no longer.
But it's so brilliant though, because I'm definitely dyslexic and I always am like M and N O P. Like it's
See?
so hard for me and I always mess it up. So thank you. Thank you, new teachers.
See,
and
I think it's crazy, but I don't have dyslexia, so maybe that's the thing.
I knew the moment that you started singing it, that was why.
To me, it seems crazy because I think we all did okay, but they're just.
But we kind of didn't. Like, I mean, we're really in technology. Like, we're not really killing the game.
I mean, we are doing great. We got to change the ABC song?
Yeah, but like, it's okay.
Oh, man. I don't know. I thought it was a big deal. I really did.
Wait, I am shooketh that I haven't read that.
Oh, yeah. No, that's big time.
Oh my God.
Big time.
I agree with it. I think it's going to help kids out because people like me, that's the part that confuses me. Okay, if somebody asks you what's before S, do you have to start all the way over or can you start at like M and N O P? Or do you actually know the lettering?
Oh, no. I have to go through from A to Z every time.
Me too.
Every time.
Every single
and
time.
I don't know why. I thought I was the only person that had to do that.
No, and I can't even go to the middle. You think like, okay, it's after MN. You think I could go M and N O P Q R S, which I kind of can, but in the moment I'm panicked. I have to start from ABC.
Oh, yeah. You're like, what happens after K? I'm like, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L.
Well, okay,
Every
so
time I have to.
maybe this new song is going to help that because it didn't work for any of us.
Do you imagine if actually that's what it does to help kids? That's actually really cool.
See, there you go.
But maybe we're the only two people that have to go through the entire alphabet.
No, sound off in the comments.
Let me know. Let me know if you're like us and you literally, if someone asks you what's after a letter or before a letter, you have to go from A to Z to think of it as opposed to just knowing it.
Well, and now multiplication tables, don't they do like squares around them? There's like a whole new philosophy with multiplication.
Well, we got preschoolers, so I only know about the preschool changes so far, and this is a big one.
Well, our children will have to have a tutor because I definitely know me and you, we're more street smart than we are book smart. If you haven't been able to tell by this podcast.
Listen, folks. This is crazy. But it's good. It's good. We'll see. If they don't have to go through the alphabet to guess a letter anymore, I'll be very impressed. And I thought I was the only person that did that. But now that I know you did, maybe everyone does. All right. Yo, this is wild. Wild. We have two people stuck in space.
Oh my God. Okay, did we find out if they're married or not?
No, they're not.
So they're probably up in space. What if she gets pregnant in space? How old is she? I think she's in her 40s.
I have no idea. But they're literally, we're supposed to go up there.
8 days and they're going to be there 8 months.
Yes.
It is the saddest. I hope they're friends. I would be.
And hopefully they get back. SpaceX, Elon Musk's company, is the one that is claiming they're going to go save them. They're going to be like, oh, we got it. Let's send a rocket up. You know how many failed rocket attempts there's been. Like, it's a crazy, scary
But they're
situation.
being able to send food and everything up, which I think is really interesting. It's so weird that we can send them up things, but we can't get them back down. And what if you get deathly ill? What if you break an arm? What if you cut yourself? Are they just stuck?
Yeah, of
That
course.
they'll just like die?
They're at the International Space Station, and the irony here, it was a Boeing plane that caused the issues why they couldn't get back. And you know Boeing had all these issues through the summer.
Yes.
I mean, bad. So this is just one more kind of nail in the coffin for Boeing.
I wonder if some days they decide like not to speak. You know how like me and you some days like as a married couple you're just like I'm not in the mood to talk to them today.
Oh, I bet I mean, it's just small. The space station's not very big. To live in for 8 months,
I would blow and how much life that they're missing.
and there's no noise up there, you know? So
Well, you
it's
know me, I can't do that. I have to have all the white noise.
oh, yeah, it's a
You
little
wonder if they're
crazy.
gonna get stir crazy or if they're talking to like psychiatrists and things like that.
I don't know. I mean, I think there would be a level of, like, extreme fascination for having that much time to get to, like I mean, they're rotating the world, right? So they get to see the world from an angle that nobody on the planet has ever seen or will see other than them. They've got big windows in there. So they're, from an experimental perspective and from a scientist perspective, the data and the things they're gonna be able to see and watch, and who knows what they're seeing in outer space around them is really cool.
Wait, you know what's really weird that I just thought of?
What?
What if like the world blows up and it's just the two of them? Like did God pick them and they're gonna like start their own like Adam and Eve?
Well, the issue is they'd never be able to get back.
But like maybe they would figure out a way.
What a great movie.
Ooh.
I don't know,
Wow.
but it's kinda crazy. It's
Can you
kind of
imagine
crazy.
like watching that?
Yeah, no. I mean,
Well, thank goodness though they don't have like I mean they do have families, but that they don't have like little kids at home.
how do you know they don't?
You just said they're oh yeah. Doesn't mean that they don't not have
No,
little
they
kids.
have their own families.
But you said they're not married, but I guess they could have
They're not
kids.
married to each other. I thought that's what you asked.
Oh no, if they like have families home.
Oh, I don't know that for a fact. I would imagine so, given their age. They are definitely of the age to have, like, I mean, families in like middle or high school.
Yeah, but they
Um,
could, wow.
yeah, but my boy Butch and my girl Suni, we're sending you all the positive
Wait,
vibes.
what cute names too, Suni and Butch.
Yep, yep.
It's like Sunny and Cher.
I mean, it's good. It's good, but we're just, praying they have a safe return, praying they have a safe time up there.
Maybe we can get them on the podcast.
He
They've
heard a
got
really
lots of time.
they just did a he had to call down to um what's the
NASA.
Houston. Houston. Houston, there's a strange noise coming from the ship. Clock, clock, clock. It's like a banging, like a constant banging. And he's like, can you wire in to hear this audio to see like what the heck is this making this noise?
Mm-mm.
And if there's something we can figure out going on. And they were able to, and you can hear the audio on the whole call. They put it online for people to hear. And it's the strangest, like full out, like percussive noise happening in the ship. And they have no idea what's causing it. They have no idea what it is, but they're like deep investigation on it.
Aliens.
Somebody's literally like, let me in or something.
Wait, do you believe in aliens?
I find it very hard to believe that there is not other life out there.
Yeah, I agree. I also believe there's like cells and things like that too. Like it doesn't actually have to be like people or aliens, but there's obviously like in the ocean, like life forms,
Yes.
cells and things like that.
I mean, the Christian side to me, it's like life was, created when it was created, but I find it very, very hard to believe that there's not other life out there.
Yeah, I agree.
I struggle with that. And I watch a lot of documentaries that, I just love it.
Documentaries about life forms.
Oh, yeah. And aliens and, people have, there's been big sightings and,
Well, and speaking of documentaries, I feel like the documentary that took over our summer is Scott Peterson.
oh, yeah, he did.
And y'all, he did it. I don't care if you watch the Peacock documentary. He's so full of it.
He is. He
and-
is. What gets me, this is it. This is the nail in the coffin for me. He told his
Lacey or
his lover,
mistress.
his mistress, that she went missing 2 days before or a day or two before she was reported going missing. How would he know that that was going to happen? Tell me about the robbery next door and the blood found in the van. Fine, fine. All that's kind of ironic
Yeah.
and weird. But he told her she was missing days before she
That she
actually
well,
went
no, that
missing.
she was dead. That it would be a first Christmas without her. That's it.
He did it.
That's done. You know what
That's
I
the nail in
feel
the
really
coffin.
bad for the mistress too is I hate that term because she did not know he was married.
No, you're right.
So
You're
I
right.
feel like though she'll always look like the other woman and all that, but she
But
didn't
she was
know.
amazing in the way she spoke and the
And
way
she
she
called the
stood
police
up for the
immediate-
family.
yes.
Yes. And she defined mistress on the stand, and she's right. A mistress is somebody who knowingly gets involved in a relationship with a married person, and she did not knowingly. He lied about that. So she's not a mistress. I feel
and to put herself out there to make statements, I think that takes a lot of balls. Because
100%.
people are still going to think like, oh, but did she not know? Did she really not know? And to be the face of that, somebody he was having an affair with, good or bad, it still stinks.
No, I mean, it's horrific. But the
But
fact
then
that
somebody
it's
said that he doesn't want kids, but what is her name that he was having an affair with? I should know this.
I don't remember. I don't
Um,
remember.
She had a daughter. So it's weird that people are saying that she didn't want kids and all that. He didn't.
I don't think he did. I think he was just enjoying having this
Like
side,
affair.
yeah,
Side hustle.
side piece. Like, I don't think he
Which
actually
is so weird because his family's so classy. Like he is the definition
sociopath.
of a sociopath
100%.
because he has the cutest family, great upbringing,
But there's
picture
something
perfect life.
like all these docs are surfacing now because there's something that could possibly, right? He's up for like, is there a way he might be
no,
retried
I
or
mean,
something?
the LA Innocence Project is taking on his case. But I think they're gonna lose. It's because of his sister-in-law has like made it her life mission to prove his innocence.
It's just
And
wild.
do you know what I think it is? I think his family wants to prove his innocence for their own selfish being because they don't want to look like this horrible family. Where really, I think he just is guilty, and they just had a sucky brother.
Oh, it's sad. It's so sad. It's
Well,
so
and she was
sad.
the cutest thing on this entire
Oh my gosh. Just
beginning her life.
yes, but it's like, okay, you weren't happy. You didn't want to be together anymore. You might have felt pressured and scared because there was a kid on the way. Just divorce. Just do what you have to do to get out of the
Yeah.
life. They'll figure it out. She had an amazing family. That kid was going to be taken care of. She would have been taken care of. Kill?
And like brutally killed.
Oh,
It's so wild.
it's crazy.
Well, speaking of kill, you know who's killing it right now?
Who?
It is the summer of Glen Powell.
Oh, so funny because both my brother and my cousin, we had a little chat going on, and they texted me a picture of him at the Texas game. They're like, the guy who's taken over the summer, but we still don't know who he is. Which, like, to most people, like, he just like appeared, and it's like, who is this new actor who's like the new Matthew McConaughey? And I was like, guys, he's been acting, and he was in Spy Kids.
Oh my God, he's
3.
been around forever.
Forever. But this is like he's blowing up the last couple years, and they still didn't even know what his name was,
But
which
do you
was
think he's
surprising to
blown up
me.
because he's taken on this whole like Texas persona, like the Matthew McConaughey effect? Because I feel like now he's like Mr. Man. Like that's why everyone's obsessed with him.
I think so. I think he's just Americana.
Well, and I think because Yellowstone has been on a hold, I think we needed that little taste of Yellowstone, and he came in like this Southern boy, that like cowboy, rugged. That I think that's why he blew up.
and he's cool, and he's a super genuine, nice guy. It
Oh my
seems
God, he's
like
adorable.
he's awesome.
His only issue is he supports UT, as TCU fans ourselves.
We can say that. We can say, is he the greatest actor ever? I don't think so. But
Oh, I think he's so adorable.
Matthew McConaughey was doing the same type of roles when he was doing the
it's
rom-coms.
not the greatest actor. You just mean
But-
he hasn't been given the opportunity for like really deep.
To showcase what he can
Yes.
do. He's going to gain the world and gain all these fans and everything through the rom-coms, which he's brilliant at. And then hopefully he makes this like Dallas Buyers Club transition into his career like McConaughey did and blows us all out of the water and wins an Oscar. That would be cool.
Dallas Buyers Club is one of the most brilliant movies in history of movies.
Oh,
The acting in that movie on everybody's scale is, and I feel like Matthew McConaughey kind of retired after that. It was like, how do you beat that?
I mean, he's phenomenal. But no one would have guessed that that would have been the actor he was capable of being from watching Gold Rush and all these like.
No, but I think a lot of the time when you do that transformative thing.
Is it Gold Rush that Blake Lively and him did that movie where it was like he's the beach guy or
Oh.
whatever that was?
Yeah, I feel like he's always doing things like that. He's always playing like the kind of
He was.
yeah,
Yeah, he was the guy that took his shirt off who was hot
like
and
bummy, smoking weed.
yeah, but then he transitioned into the most hardcore actor ever. And I'm excited for the day that happens with Glenn Powell, which will be like another year or two, but it's going to happen.
Oh, I think it's going to be a couple years
Yeah.
because he's like really just now getting his legs
Yeah.
with Twisters. And I just feel like he's become really the face of Hollywood right now.
He is.
Everybody loves, and I do think it's cool because Brad Pitt, George Clooney, all of them are getting older.
Mm-hmm.
So we want somebody that's not like new, like a little kid. You know, we don't want like a 22-year-old. I
No,
think
yeah.
Glenn Powell's like my age, like 35.
Maybe like 30, maybe 38. I don't know.
In his 30s. So
Yeah.
I think he's kind of taken over for that Brad Pitt, George Clooney, because now they're just like dads to all of us.
Yep. 100%.
That we just needed that man.
He's here.
And guess what else is coming back?
What?
It's in your family. Yellowstone.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yellowstone is coming back to finish this season. And we found out this summer that Kevin Costner will not be returning.
That's right.
But you know what, though? I will say, it's like we never know what he's going to do, what he's going to, like, how can he beat it? The mind of Taylor Sheridan, I think he really is one of the greatest writers of our time.
100%.
He will make it work.
Well, okay, so they said Kevin's gone officially. They're wrapping up the season. And for all intents and purposes, the show was coming to a close at the end of season 5. That's been established. But now there have been rumors and spreading all over Deadline and Variety and Hollywood Reporter that they're going to continue it with Rip and Beth. So maybe it's not over. We'll see.
But I think even Taylor said at the beginning, Yellowstone was never meant to be a series that went on and on and on and on and on and on. Taylor really has a philosophy. I think he likes to close out chapters. I think he was like, okay, let's end this and start anew. But I'm so in love with Rip and Beth. I would be on cloud 9.
Oh yeah, the world's here for it. The world's here for it. I'm on pins and needles
I
just as
think
much
it's
as
November
everybody else.
10th. I really cannot wait because I truly have no idea what he's going to do.
Put your boots on, put your hats on, pretend like you're Western, watch yourself some Yellowstone season 5 and call it a day.
Yeah, and speaking of summer, it was also the summer of Charlie XCX. It was a brat summer. She literally created the term, we all had a brat summer. There was literally a paint.
I thought you were going to say demure or
No, that was now.
demure.
It's a very demure, very mindful.
What is brat? What?
It's brat is like you don't care, you're going to party, have fun. Please, you don't even know what a brat summer is.
No.
There's literally a paint color that's this like specific green that is for brat summer.
I might have been in Arkansas that entire time. I have no idea what you're talking about.
See, I feel like this podcast does work because you stay not up to date with anything pop culture.
Oh, I got good stuff.
I know you did your research, but everybody knows it's been a brat summer.
Okay, that's hilarious.
It is all about brat. Like you take the term and it's like positive now. It's all of us, but now we're all very
So brat is
demure.
good.
Yeah.
If you're a brat, you're good.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's like you don't care.
So if
Like,
Momo called, like if I call, like Momo, you're such a brat, that'd be like a good thing?
if she was older, she
Okay.
could do that. But she's way too young.
Okay.
But
Because
now,
that feels wrong for me to say that.
yeah, because in our mind, a brat's like a spoiled brat.
But
like
they
a-
just flipped it.
Yeah, but they flipped it.
Cool.
And there's like a whole dun 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 dun.
It was a dance too?
Oh yeah, there's a whole dance.
Oh my gosh.
But now we're all very demure, very mindful. I have never.
I
in my-
love how they flip words, by the way. Sick, you're vomiting. Sick, you're cool.
Cool.
Brat, you're annoying. Brat, you're cool. Like they just decide one day like a bad word is good. And that's just
I
everyone,
like that.
Everyone runs with it.
I wonder what the next one will be. Well, even like FUCK, my mom said she would have literally, like as an adult, you do not ever, if that came out of her mouth, it's like exorcism coming out of her mouth. And I feel like we all throw that word around like it's like no biggie.
Yeah. Brat.
You're a brat. You're very demure, very mindful. But now every single person under their sun, like every car, every product, everything is like, have a very demure
Yeah,
summer
yeah,
with
demure. I
Cetaphil.
know about that.
It's so annoying.
That's
I'm
always
like,
something.
it's so weird. It's like Abercrombie and you're very mindful. It's like, we get it. We know.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's a good catch up. That's a good catch up.
Yeah, wait, let me see if I make sure. The Biebers had a baby. Alec Baldwin's case was dismissed. Ballerina's farm scandal. Chapel Rowan came on the scene.
Inside Out 2 became the highest grossing animated film of all time.
I know, I'm trying to think of anything. I know there's probably like a gazillion other things. But we just want to tell y'all for this season, our guests, there are no words.
Oh.
I truly can't believe the guests that are coming on our show are our guests that are coming on the show.
And the first guest is a comedian. We can spill the spoiler a little bit. Is a comedian. You guys are gonna die.
Literally, she has a ginormous series coming out. She is, I kind of feel like the face of COVID. And now she's going to be the face of everything.
So
She
crazy.
is, this season, stick with us. It is so good. I'm still in shock that we have these guests.
I
And
know.
we're going to be going kind of all across the board with our guests this season, which
Oh,
is
yeah.
super exciting.
Oh yeah.
But thank you for supporting us. Subscribe, like, do all the things. We're back for season 2 of The Glamour and Grit.
And you guys enjoy. Wait, your glamour and your grit.
Oh my God.
We're just gonna wrap things up, but I was like, hey, you might as well throw out your glamour and grit real
My
quick.
glamour is that we are back doing this show. I feel like this is our first episode, so you're kind of, getting our, what is it, our legs back?
Yeah.
Our sea
Yep,
legs
yep,
back.
yep.
And then our grit is that you have to leave again on Friday.
Yes, in a couple days. It's
So-
the same thing. Same thing. Glad to be back. Glamorous. Grit. Definitely have to leave on Friday.
But the best part is everybody listening to this podcast will never know that you were gone.
Because I'll already be back by the
I
time it
know.
airs.
It'd just be me.
All right, y'all. Go enjoy the rest of your week. We're so glad you're here with us. We got a great season coming for you guys, so stay tuned.
Bye.
Peace. Glamour.
Grit.
Glamour.
Grit.